Hey guys, this is Warwick from Casual Chess, back for another 5-minute game today. Looks like I'm playing white against my opponent who is playing black, and he's from Uzbekistan. I'll play e4, my opponent plays g6, going for one of these hyper-modern openings, developing his bishops towards the edge. No problems here so far, pretty ordinary development from both of us. Got good center control, but so does my opponent, primarily through the use of those bishops on the edges at the g7 and the b7 squares. Okay. I'm going to open up the h2 square by moving h3, so I can place one of my knights there and develop my other knight across. Still got good control of the center here. I was expecting that. And now we've got a c file that we can place our rook onto once we develop that bishop currently on c1. So, no big issues in terms of how this game has actually gone so far, although I do have questions about where we're going to next. I'll look to play be3 now. Okay. Interesting. I think we will we'll play a3 there. I was expecting that take and I'm satisfied with it. I'll play d5 now, meaning that a break along the c file with one of those pawns will have to be made, and hopefully this will make it easy for me to take advantage once I can place one of my rooks onto the c file. First I'll play rook e2, defending the pawn on b2. All pretty expected so far, and reasonably satisfied with the position that we have. Rook c2 now. Sorry, rook c1 rather. Now rook c2. And we'll play b3 just to get the pawn off the b2 square where that bishop currently on g7 was aiming at down this diagonal here. I'd say still nothing really wrong with the situation at the moment. What I think we'll do is we'll play bg5 and look to either trade off those bishops or kick that queen around to a less desirable position for my opponent. Okay, we'll take on f5. And now we're up a pawn. My opponent does have the opportunity to take on d5 with his rook, which would threaten my queen. However, I don't see that as too big a deal at the moment. I was expecting takes with the rook, actually. I've got an interesting move, rook e7 there now. Okay, a bit of a risk, but I'm going to play nh4. I realise there's a check on the c1 square from the queen, but I'd really like to kick the rook off the f5 square and off the e5 square so that I can take the bishop on d5 with check. Hopefully nh4 is a way to do that. Okay, that was an utter fail. I don't know why I thought that was going to be successful. Rook f4 now. And unfortunately we don't have much choice but to play to king h2. g3 now, really running out of time. I certainly think I've misplayed this in the endgame. Don't really see a way out of this. I can't defend with the knight because the queen will take on g2, which will be protected by the bishop. My only hope of getting out of here is really going to be to manage to get a check, but that's game over. That's checkmate and 1 on the f2 square. Bishop protects f2. I have to say I am staggered that my opponent managed to miss that. Although with the amount of things I've been missing lately, it's possible I certainly would have missed it as well. Now my opponent's got a... I was going to say my opponent's got a bishop on the d4 square, which makes it more difficult for me to now take on d5 with check, which is what I was really intending to do. Question is there a way out? And there may just be. I don't see it yet. I think that's checkmate in 1. Or possibly 2. No, king, queen to f2, checkmate. Queen to f2 is definitely checkmate. There may be an opportunity for me to get a perpetual check here though. But no, my opponent does see the mate in 1 on g2. I'll give my opponent thumbs up for being a good sport. I probably should have resigned a little bit earlier. That would have been the polite thing to do, but if it looked like I was going to get the win, I think I would have resigned because I don't think I outplayed him there at all. So, okay, a failure towards the end there. A pretty long game, 45 moves. Let's get into the analysis and we'll see how that all plays out. Okay, analysing now. Unfortunately we've dropped back below the 1400 rating mark, but so be it. Whew. Okay, you can really see where things fell apart there. I did have the advantage for the main part of the game, I would say. Sorry, let me just readjust the screen there. Yeah, so I had the advantage for most of the game, as high as 2.46 at one point, but really it was a throwaway. As soon as I made this move here, that was a big blunder, and from there it all went downhill. So now, as you may recall, I was saying that I wanted to play my knight to that square so that I could kick the rook off the f5 square, and I have no idea how I saw this. This is an ultimate fail. That rook can just take the bishop now. It's undefended. I think for some reason I thought my queen was defending on that square. Simply not the case. Given away a free piece, and then in trying to defend, a disastrous move, f4. Although by this point it's really already too late. So let's look at the point that I did have the advantage. In fact, my highest advantage, 2.46 here. It says that f5 was a mistake, although I would say that I felt a little bit threatened by that at the time. So that's a blunder there, moving the bishop to the g5 square, threatening the queen. I thought that was potentially good. I could kick him around a bit. Unfortunately, not so much. So now, how would my opponent have taken advantage of this? Let's look at the analysis line. bg5, queen d7, be3, f takes e4, queen takes e4, queen f7. Okay, I still don't really see how there's a big advantage here. I played out all the suggested moves and it said that I'm not in the lead, but I think the main issue is that I dropped it back to roughly even, so rather than losing, going into the negatives. So okay, a couple of things to learn from that game. If we look at the themes, you can see fianchetto, obviously at the start of the game that was crucial. Backwards pawns was a theme, something I could work on. Isolated pawns as well. Bishop pair, doubled rooks. Okay, so yeah, I think there's plenty to work on there for me. Obviously I need to get a little bit better at actually addressing risks and not throwing away pieces. That was really crucial. We were pretty even until I gave away that bishop by moving the knight. I had some ideas for what I could do, but it simply was a stupid idea and I didn't think it through. So hopefully you don't make mistakes I do, and hopefully if you do, you can learn a little bit from watching these games. I'd appreciate if you give a like on the video if you like it, and if you didn't, please let me know what you didn't like and I'll work on that. I'll try and improve that for you. But hopefully these provide some value, and if that is the case, maybe leave me a comment. Okay, well, I'll be back in the next one, guys. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Bye.